With the First Order being a rump of the Galactic Empire, instead of rebuilding the same weapons, doing the same mistakes of destroying planets, why not build weapons that can subdue planets by locking them down? With Kathleen Kennedy leaving, I wanted to make a film about my views in what I would have changed in Star Wars. Now, like many others, I was not a fan of the sequel trilogy, and I'm not going to really go into about the characters or whatnot because it's been done to death and there's people far more better to explain things than me. I would like to change stuff in terms of the weapons, the super weapons, especially. I would have changed and removed Starkiller base, and I would have removed the Sith Imperial Star Destroyers in the last of the sequel trilogy, because I kind of felt it was kind of, especially when you had Palpatine just appear out of nowhere, I just thought it was a bit silly. My idea is an alternative weapon where I would change the whole ethos of what the First Order is to do, because they are a rump of the Galactic Empire, so they're nowhere near as big, they don't have as reach. And I kind of feel that instead of going around destroying planets to scare people into submission, I kind of feel that they would be more into using fear, like locking down planets and basically starving and basically isolating civilizations into submission to their will. So we'll have the protagonist trying to find Luke because they feel that Luke can actually turn Ren back into the light, whereas Ren is being tasked to destroy Luke, to destroy the Jedi Order for good, and that's what they kind of feel that that's the way. We fast forward the film where we will actually go to the planet where Luke is. Then the protagonists get ambushed by the First Order with Ren appearing, and Rey has to get into a fight with Ren. Like they both get in a lightsaber battle. I can't talk. Sorry, getting a lightsaber battle, and however the change is we won't have Rey winning, because I don't think that made sense when we're supposed to believe that Ren is an absolute threat. So we'll have Ren absolutely just bossing this whole fight. However, Luke appears, and this is where we have like a big showdown, the first showdown with Luke appearing against Ren. However, we see the TIE fighters come in and just start attacking the small squadron of the Republic. However, we will then see the X-fighters from the Republic fleet come out and just have a big we'll have dogfights throughout the battle, and a small Republic fleet coming in to support. Luke then wins the battle against Ren, and Ren will then flee with the remaining of the First Order. They will leave the planet. So, okay, they all celebrate, blah blah blah, they won, and that kind of thing. So as the Republic are leaving the planet and they are in orbit of Axto, we get the screen goes silent and we get the reveal. So, I'm not going to hide this, I am a big Ace Combat fan, and I know I just basically going to rip some of it out into the Star Wars, but I think Stonehenge, the super weapon, would actually be a really good addition to Star Wars. I think some concepts of it I'll give you a very short rundown for anyone who's not played Ace Combat 4, especially 4. You should be playing it. Stonehenge is a weapon used by the nation of Usia, and it was originally used to destroy asteroids. It's just basically 6 giant railguns, and the Usians found out they can use it to shoot down aircraft, and any aircraft who's above 2,000 feet will absolutely get destroyed by the railgun. I think this concept would actually be quite useful for Star Wars, and especially the First Order. But instead of it being 6 giant railgun cannons strapped on a planet, it's just essentially going to be 6 heavily upgraded Peltas Star Destroyers. Now I know they didn't want to do expanded universes or any extra lore in the Star Wars, but I think instead of having 6 large railguns, which would be an easy target, you'd have 6 upgraded Peltas Star Destroyers purely built for extreme long-range bombardment, where when they all fire together they create that Stonehenge effect where they can vaporise a fleet and a couple of starfighters if they're not in atmosphere, because with a direct line of sight these ships could actually wipe out a specific area, but they cannot attack. The rounds can't go through atmosphere. I kind of wanted to thought of this because it would just add a bit of interest, where if they could just fire it anywhere, it would just be kind of a bit boring, where there's actually like a false insecurity, because we all know that ISDs can glass a planet. So you might want to think that you're actually safe hiding in a planet, but you have a Star Destroyer orbiting above you where they could just like ruin your day. Just imagine an ISD following you and you realise it's not shooting or sending TIE fighters in your location, but the scarier thing is it's actually zeroing in your location and giving coordinates to Stonehenge. That would actually make the ISDs a far more powerful foe than you would anticipate, because you could see during the film you could have a fleet of Republic forces with 1 or 2 ISDs, where the First Order could actually lose in this engagement, but because of the fear factor of Stonehenge, the Republic could actually bug out and leave that location. Anyway, this was just a brief overview of my idea, and if you guys want me to go in more depth of Stonehenge, or even like discuss more ideas what I would like to have in my alternative trilogy, let me know in the comments.